Hi everyone. Yeah, just I wanted to start recording some videos, possibly for YouTube or content marketing purposes. Really just to kind of deep dive and talk more about, things that have impacted my personal life and so work related things, business things, personal thoughts and opinions. And yeah, I'll probably mostly be doing them from here on my balcony, as it's a pretty nice place to have a morning coffee and contemplate. So welcome, and let's begin. So I thought it would be relevant to talk first about how I ended up coming to the Philippines and a series of events that led to that happening in the first place. So I grew up in North London in Harrow, and then studied at York University before moving back to London. And I was living in Clapham and then Brixton for a few years. But yeah, from what I remember of living in London as a young professional, it was a tough place to live. I mean, London gets glamorized a lot. It's amazing cities, and I think London is a great city, undoubtedly, and there's a lot of incredible things to do. I mean, there's the famous phrase, if you're bored of London, you're bored of life. Whatever the saying was. And yeah, so the first job I had was as a partner manager at Groupon. I enjoyed working there. It was good fun. I really liked the people and the culture. I had a great manager. But yeah, just the whole lifestyle was challenging. I was living in a flat share with two other guys, and yeah, I think I was spending around £700 a month, slightly more, including bills and everything else. And not that was a huge expense, but the salary that I was getting was pretty low. And even back then, I mean, we're talking about 2011. Even back then, the cost of living in London was pretty expensive, especially compared to what salaries were. And I'm sure it's even worse now than it was. I mean, obviously, I'm sure salaries have increased since then, but I think also the cost of living and inflation is also a bit, a factor that impacts a lot of people, particularly with rises in energy prices and things like that. But yeah, I remember living there and then getting up 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning. It's dark, it's cold outside. Then you've got to go to work, and then getting on a packed train, and, standing like a sardine in a kind of sweaty, uncomfortable, confined environment, and paying quite a lot just for the privilege of being able to do that. And then I remember on a few occasions I would get to work and I'd be shouted at just for being like a minute or two late, and it was a pretty stressful experience, and I was working pretty hard, but not for a huge amount of money, and money didn't really go far. And I paid rent, bills, transport, food. I'd go out for a few drinks on the weekend, but then at the end of the month I was left with pretty much nothing, or I would go into my overdraft. So it was, I wasn't really making any progress. I mean, life was pretty much just living for the weekend, and I'm not really getting anywhere. But anyway, yeah, after I left Groupon, I bounced around a couple of different jobs, but I wanted to learn new skills, and because my job at Groupon was a partner manager, so I was mainly dealing with relationships of clients and ensuring that they were happy and satisfied with their daily deal campaigns, and fixing issues if they weren't. but I wanted to do something maybe slightly more technical, just to broaden my knowledge base and skills. So I ended up looking for internships or junior roles in digital marketing, and then eventually I came across a job in. The thing is, I was looking for jobs in London, but I came across one on this job posting that was based in Cebu. I hadn't heard of Cebu, I didn't know where it was. So I did a search, and it said it was in Philippines, which I also didn't know where it was. I hadn't been to Asia at that time. 23, 24 when I applied. I just thought that this would be a good experience to happen. I obviously didn't know if I was going to actually end up getting the job or not. But I applied. I went down for the interview to their head office in Bristol, and then I had to wait quite a long time. I mean, I was unemployed at the time, so I was going to what's called the Dole office or the Brixton Job Centre, collecting payments for a while, and looking for something else really, because it took quite a long time to actually hear back from that company. But then eventually, I think about 6 weeks later, they came back and said I'd been offered the job, and started training in Bristol in September of 2012. I flew out to Cebu. That was an interesting experience because I was very excited at the time, obviously, because it was going to be a new adventure. I'd be able to get out of London for a while, and be able to travel, see a different part of the world. So I was really keen to do it. My family were very supportive, and so I flew out, and even just going on a long distance flight by myself was a first for me. So that was an interesting experience in itself. And then I remember just immediately being culture shocked, even in Hong Kong airport, like going on the escalator, and then instructions were in Mandarin. And but anyway, when I got to Cebu, my manager picked me up and took me to the hotel, and then after that I started work, and I'll probably get into that more in the next video. But that's pretty much how I ended up coming here, and I'm still here 12 years later. And I was only supposed to stay for 2 years, but as I said, I'll talk about that more in future videos. But as I said, it was completely random how this happened. It wasn't even really my intention to live abroad or move abroad. And I'm very glad that it worked out the way it did. And now I'm here telling you this story. So I hope you enjoyed that, that introduction. And as I said, there'll be more videos to come talking about what it's like here, what it's like working here, and some other ideas that I'm sure I'll come up with. But that's it for now. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.